Ladies and gentlemen, an invite sweet love, and Heidi in closet to talk about life beyond the runway, and me, your favorite host with the sassy most. So raise a glass and let the drinks begin.
Thank you for being
Boulevard.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks. Give a damn. Quarantine has been so long, I've gotten into shape, out of shape, back in shape, and now I'm heading back out of shape. My body is like, bitch, make a decision. Oh, COVID. Kurt, do you have a pun for us today?
I do, yes.
Okay, make it snappy, make it quick.
Did you know I once heard a joke about amnesia, but I forgot how it goes.
That was literally the worst pun you have ever. No, you get no drum, you get nothing. That's the worst one you've ever had. You're not even trying anymore, Kurt. You're just phoning it in. Literally, we're phoning it in.
I've been doing it for so long now. There's not many left.
Yeah. Well, that's true. We're at over 200 fans. Drag for Fans is free to join for all the drag performers of all levels of influence and for people that love drag queens. Watch, subscribe, and tip and drag your content creators around the world. All you drag queens need a little income? Do it with Drag4.fans. Shantae, they pay. Okay, this show is presented by Straw Hat Media. You can watch and or listen to our over 225 episodes at ontherocksradioshow.com. Hello to our listeners around the nation on every major podcast platform, including iHeartRadio and Facebook. We are streaming live on Roku and Amazon. Listen to us. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will zoom in and I will show up. Send us an email, info@ontherocksradioshow.com. Send me your questions, comments, and nudes, if you're pretty. Okay, check out the new issue of Metrosource magazine, my interviews with RuPaul's Drag Race's Michelle Visage, Bob the Drag Queen, and YouTuber Kaylin Allen from The Ellen Show, all in this national magazine. Go to your local newsstand or go to metrosource.com. Okay, let me welcome our first guest, patiently waiting from the East Coast on the East Coast time. She's ready to party. Miss Shuga Cain is a California girl living the struggle in NYC. She's a singer, a master baker, and a professional homemaker. If you can't find her at home taking care of her man or singing in an off-Broadway show, then baby, you know she'll be serving them cakes, honey. And of course, we know and love her as the lip sync queen from the 11th season of RuPaul's Drag Race. Seems like just yesterday. And today marks the release of her single, Sweet Love, which we get to look at today. So stay tuned. Please welcome Miss Shuga Cain. Hey!
How are you? Cheers!
Cheers, girl. There we go.
Already.
Already.
Get started.
I have to say, you look so on point. You know, all of us at home on quarantine, you know, we're looking a little ragged at this point. We're like, let us out. And here you show up looking pristine and gorgeous. Girl, you are put together.
Thank you. It is a ton of old makeup that has been expiring at the bottom of my makeup bag. Because, you know, we don't need no more. So that stuff's getting crusty.
Well, it's funny because, you know, now we're at home. It's like, I don't want to go to the grocery store. How many times a day can I call Postmates? I'm discovering food in my pantry. I'm like, I'm sure that's still good. I mean, carbs don't expire, right? Pasta's pasta.
It's like improv in the kitchen. Just start throwing things together. Who knows what you'll come up with?
And you know your way around the kitchen. Is your oven clean, girl?
Always.
Yeah.
Clean.
So, you know, we know and love Shuga Cain from TV. Like I said, it just seemed like yesterday, but it was actually 2 seasons ago. But you're always, you know, your social media and your branding, and now with your single, you are always in the light. And I love seeing you, and I love following you on social media. But I want to talk about how you became you, kind of the early years. Tell me what it was like growing up in a Caucasian, Northern California neighborhood, Salvadorian, Apache, and Spanish blood running through your veins.
It was very interesting, to say the least. I was a Bay Area kid, so my family moved us up to this town called Magalia, California. And it was, I mean, in hindsight now, it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever lived, and I love it. But growing up, I mean, It was rough, girl. I was bullied like the hands down. I mean, there was like 2 brown families there, and we got the brunt of everything. Like it just was it was rough. I was just like this chunky kid who had style. I had a little rat tail, girl. I used to put that thing in my mouth. These kids were like, "Who is this brown kid?" It was a trip. But I think it just made me tougher. But I love it. It's my hometown. So regardless of what it was like.
Funny. Here you are. Look what you're up to today. And, they're probably looking like boo-boo because they have like 3 kids. They can't pay the mortgage on their trailer. And they're like, what is happening to my life? But it's funny.
So true.
I was one of the only Latin kids in an all kind of white private school in Southern California, of all places. I was chubby. I was kind of like energetic in ways that I shouldn't be. And so I can totally relate to what you're talking about. But looking back, I needed that time to kind of build my own confidence, my sense of humor, and not worry about what other people had to think.
100%. I think.
Well, it is funny because when I either go on a date or I tell somebody from the younger generation of the gays, I'm like, cherish these days. And I'm like, what am I, an old grandpa now? Like, when did I become that person?
Girl, I feel you. I'm the same, honey.
Now, what was your coming out story? Is it a good one? Is it a difficult one? How did that happen for you?
Oh, wow. I think, it's a mixture, right? Like I was a high school program called Upward Bound, and I just kind of like found myself in that kind of experience. It was after my first year of college that I had come back, and I was like, I have to fess up to the family. So I sat my parents down, told them I was gay, and so it was rough for them. It was really, really hard. They blamed themselves. They loved me first and foremost. So they didn't come to terms with what this was. And then, I think I owe a lot of it to my little sister. She was very forward thinking than me.
Well, it's funny because as the Latin culture, we are so passionate and we're loving,
Oh, yeah.
And, old.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And we're back. All righty. All of our soft and supple fans. Heidi in Closet, a self-described dancing disco diva with a quick wit and a bubbly personality. Also backside. Heidi rose to stardom by competing on the 12th season of VH1's reality competition show, RuPaul's Drag Race. From a small town to the biggest televised drag competition in the world. She's a pageant title holder, North Carolina Entertainer of the Year, and of course, Drag Race's Miss Congeniality. Please welcome Heidi in Closet. Oh my God, you're so adorable.
Thank you. How are you doing?
God, you look refreshed. You look like you just awoke from a slumber. You look good, girl.
I just saw the doctor. He's taking care of me. No, I'm joking.
What do you use on that skin? Literally, it is so good.
To keep it soft and supple, I tend to use a hydrating face mask every once in a while just to make sure she stays nice and hydrated. And whatnot, true.
Girl, you are keeping your audience hydrated with your social media and those pictures. They are on point. It's keeping me alive this quarantine.
I'm trying to give something to the children. I know they're hungry, so I'm trying to feed the children.
So I have to say, I'm so excited to talk to you. The minute you hit the Drag Race screen, you made me smile. There's that all shucks attitude, your unique sense of humor. Your look is it captured old school drag as well as what's happening in today's drag. Yay. And I think above all, for me, there was the sense of sincerity that you can't fake, especially on reality TV, especially on Drag Race. It really comes through.
Absolutely.
So I want to know how you became you. I know growing up in North Carolina in a small town, it couldn't have been easy, but maybe it instilled in you some small town sensibility, manners, etc. What were some of the positives of growing up in such a small town?
Absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head. I'm just old Southern gal, a Southern belle, as I like to call myself. And, just growing up, I wouldn't say poor, but we were poor. And we were definitely lower middle class. It was right above the poverty line. And we kind of grew up not wanting a lot, not
Yeah.
getting a lot, but enough to get what we needed, really. And I think that really was part of it. I enjoy the simpler things in life as well. Growing up in such a small town, I really do enjoy simpler things. Like I love to sit at home and hang out and just relax and just, look at, I like to bird watch, not actually like birds per se, but like people who walk by
Well, you're in LA now. You're man watching, girl.
all the time. No, Jay. All the time. And it's just lots and lots of years of just me learning how to cope with things and struggle with things. Pretty much struggle all of my life to be able to make do with what you got and make it work. And that's really something that probably shined through a lot as well on the show.
Well, I think we really saw that kind of dichotomy because you're in this competition, you're in this industry where its outfits are bigger, glitzier, more expensive, and now Queens, I think the focus has gotten kind of from the talent is now really on the look, and now stylists are now providing outfits, and it's like, well, let's back up a little bit because the intention of drag was to entertain, and it's about the talent. And so seeing you in these beautiful outfits, but with that kind of sensibility and hardworking and just humor, like your one-liners, it was so nice to see. Now, when did you kind of get the first idea that you might be a little different from the other boys, the other kids, even in terms of personality?
Oh, it was definitely at a very early age. I was that kid. I would want to play with my sister's dolls and whatnot trees. I always, when we were on the playground at school, would play with the girls. I wouldn't go I would go play in the dirt. I would go like sit on the swings, the swing and whatever, and jungle gyms and whatnot. You do cartwheels and all that stuff. So I knew I was like different from a very young age. Not per se knowing that I was a homosexual, gay.
Homosexual. When you say it, it's so fabulous. Like I think if people talk that way in the White House, nobody would have a problem with homosexuals if they said it the way that you said it.
A homosexual. There's nothing wrong with a homosexual. There's not. But
sounds fun.
Absolutely, it sounds delicious. I'll take two, please. But no, I knew I was different per se. Like I just knew something was different, and here we are now, really.
Now, when did you first get that kind of entertainment bug that you're like, oh, I'm going to be a performer?
Okay, so I was actually part of a dance company back in high school.
And you were a color guard too.
Yes, as well as color. I did them both at the same time. I was one of the few people that could bounce back and forth, and it was very difficult. But it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it. I learned how to spin the flag and the rifles and the sabers and dance house down. And what was amazing about my dance company, Catalyst Dance Company, located in Ramsey, North Carolina, is the only dance class / company in Randolph County. So, boo-doo. But we did so many different things. We did jazz, we did tap, we did contemporary ballet, African, just so many different styles of dancing. And I fell in love with performing. And we'd have a concert at the end of every semester. And when I hit the stage, I just lived my best life. So that was probably the moment I really got that, oh, I want to entertain for the rest of my life. I want to perform.
Now, it's funny because I was in dance class when I was in high school until the football team caught me in my unitard, and I quit right after that because I just couldn't. I didn't have that kind of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, to be made fun of. My sexuality I was dealing with. Number two, body issues in a unitard. Now, what gave you the confidence to still do that, knowing it probably was not the most popular for you, probably got you a lot more attention on who you were becoming at that point?
Yeah, actually, there's two things that really helped with it. One was I didn't really fit in anywhere, and it wasn't until I started dancing and doing color guard that I found where I belonged. Like I found my tribe, and that's where I found my safe space at school. So that's where it all like, I don't care what people say. I don't care what people think. I don't care what people look at. I don't care. This is me. This is my fun. I'm feeling safe. I feel comfortable. And honestly, the second thing is the way that the world has progressed by each generation. I think my time was sort of in the middle of like the older, like no taboo and yes, honey, everybody's all for it. So I was like somewhere in the middle of that growing up. And the jocks, they would like come and support, and like it wasn't like the super popular thing to do, but like it would happen on a Friday night in a Randolph County, a small country town. There's nothing to do on Friday night, so let's go to the dance concert and cheer them people on. So it was very that, and it was very happy and very a good experience, and it helped me become who I am.